So, a question that has been on a lot of people's minds since I've been popping back up online, especially in the soccer community, is where have I been? To answer the question simply, I've been out in Phoenix, Arizona, just learning about myself and taking a lot of personal inventory. For me, nothing is quite so simple, so I think this is the perfect place to start the first chapter of Accent Over the U. To understand why I had to walk away from the game of soccer, we have to go all the way back to 2014 when I was dealing with a persistent injury that I couldn't figure out, and I got to a point of desperation where I was willing to find anything to get myself back on the field. I was 22 years old. I had so much soccer left ahead of me, but I wasn't able to take care of my body the right way. And because of that, I succumbed to a lot of injuries. I left Portales both because of mental health issues and because of injuries. I found a surgeon in Albuquerque who said that he was going to do everything in his power to be non invasive. I really trusted him on that. Turned out, a sense, that was a lie. The very first thing that he wanted to do was open me up. Bones overgrowing because of all the twisting and turning that a sport like soccer takes on, especially from a young age. And especially when we're not taking care of ourselves, stretching, doing the things that we need to be doing to keep our bones and muscles aligned correctly. I'm sure that it was the right surgery to do at the time. The problem was after the surgery, I was very susceptible to addiction, buying into things, looking for escapes at that time. The rehab process was fine. Overall, the medical treatment was fine. There got to be a point where I already had 20 pills still left in a pill canister back at home. Two scripts already written out, ready to go whenever I wanted to go cash in on them. But I didn't want to cash in on them. We'll say the fourth time that I went. So where's your pain tolerance at? I'm at a 3. I'm doing good. I'm just using aspirin and I'm feeling all right. Oh, so you need another prescription? Like that triggered, that ready. He didn't hear one word I said. I was like, how am I supposed to work with this man? I was still working through my alcohol addiction. I didn't need to add anything to it. So I walked away. I walked away from him. I walked away from the rehab. I walked away from everything. At the time, I had no words to be able to tell my parents what was going through my head when I made that decision. That was kind of it. Stopped going to the rehab. Just come off the probation for DWI after I got my surgery. So I was kind of just like this free man. And to start 2015, I just took that clean slate and ran with it. My intention was to walk away from the game altogether to really figure out how to rehab on my own because this was a big surgery. He shed a lot of bones, things got shifted around. The daily activity that needs to be done in order to bring my body back to 100% so I could be the best soccer player that I could be again. I was still so deep in other habits. I actually had overcome my alcohol addiction, but there was just so much other baggage from sexual abuse and not understanding better what comes with it. I ended up suffering a heartbreak to begin 2016. The first answer that I had when the question was asked, what am I supposed to do with all this pain, was get back on the field. It'd been a year and a half since my surgery. This was a dangerous game that I was playing with my body at this point. There's no alcohol involved. There's no drug involved with these decisions. And it was still this dangerous of a decision because all the twists and turns that my body literally took on because of the surgery. I was dealing with Achilles tendonitis during that year. I found a job at the Arena International Indoor in Albuquerque. Being that close to soccer, not playing made no sense to me, especially when I was dealing with all the pain that I was dealing with. Trying to accept being a sex abuse victim, trying to accept this heartbreak that I just suffered, trying to accept my flaws. And it's not easy to talk about these things. So I was still working through all those things, and soccer was always my one outlet to be able to get out there and get all of that pent up energy out of me. Because of my insecurities, my pride, passion for the game, I came in too hot, rubbed some people the wrong way, played way too much soccer. But the thing about it was I was playing good. I was feeling good as long as I was keeping out of my head the fact that my Achilles was throbbing at least once a week. And I had fun working there. My favorite thing to do by far was just be scorekeeper and watch people play. Competitive teams, work teams, family teams. It didn't matter. It didn't matter the level. It didn't matter the competition. It didn't matter if it was just a friendly or if they were playing for a final. There was just something about watching soccer every day that helped me find a lot of inner peace even when I was dealing with so much things in the background. So I came came in really hot, thinking that I should be managing this place and I should be working this and working that. There was too many flaws and too many things that I couldn't accept about myself yet. I fell on my face, literally and figuratively. Figuratively in the sense of I just put myself in a position where I wasn't going to advance as quickly as I hoped I was going to. While on the other hand, the literal sense, the blessing in disguise is that I've never had to deal with a Achilles rupture, but what I ended up having to deal with was just as damaging.